Hey, people. Charlie here. Now that it's quieting down, I think we will watch one of my favorite people, Mr. SsethTzeentach himself. I really like Wizardry, if you didn't know that. It's an old, basically the granddaddy of RPGs, CRPGs. I think the first one came out on the Apple II. Many of you might not know what an Apple II is. It's like a primordial PC, if you will. Even I have never used one, and I'm old, so take that as you will. Apple II Wizardry 1, 1981, I think it was, 1982, something like that. But 8 is the one that Mr. Seth is reviewing today, so we'll let him take over. Let me mute my music.
Hey people, Seth here. Today, I'll be breaking away from tradition. I'll be covering some old-ass game that's probably
my favorite.
Obscure, long, frustrating, dehumanizing, but also very fun. Ask yourself, have you ever wanted to experience the role-playing equivalent of poisoning yourself repeatedly?
I am afflicted.
For many weeks.
Those voices are so good.
I got dibs on his stuff.
Until you gradually build up a tolerance for self-inflicted pain and suffering. You see, much like eating a bag of raw potatoes, do it in one go and you might die, but do it gradually and you might live. Keep at it and you might just start enjoying it. I present to you Wizard.
Potatoes are good, and I don't think there is a limit to how many you can eat before tummy hurt. Well, maybe for you, but for me, I could eat them forever. Baked, boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. You know the drill.
Wizardry 8, released in 2001 by the Canadian government. Wizardry 8 is one of the finest torture devices to be released on the personal computer. Wizardry 8 takes place in the Dragon Ball Z extended universe.
True.
You and your party are space-traveling aliens hired by the Wookiees to retrieve all 3 remaining Dragon Balls. The Astral Domine, the Chaos Malari, and the Destiny Dominus, and use them to ascend as literal gods and reshape the universe. Ascension takes place on a planet called Dominus. Unfortunately, the process of ascension has been complicated.
These portraits, I need them. Making custom portraits for Wiz 8 is a pain in the butt. I haven't even attempted it.
By the involvement of a dark savant.
Dark savant.
To put it simply,
basically Darth Vader or this guy. Okay, nice tash.
Is Space Hitler setting up an interplanetary anti-Semitic blockade around Dominus. Unfortunately, your ship bears the Mark of David and is quickly shot out of the sky, forcing you to make a crash land.
While we're on that, sorry to pause it again, but I miss when these CRPGs just blatantly had sci-fi in them. You don't really see that anymore. The only franchise that are really doing it still are like Star Ocean. But if anyone played Star Ocean 6, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good either. Carry on.
Landing. All things considered, that's not too bad. Except, Space Hitler has also rigged the planet with a nuclear payload that is large enough to glass the entire surface, in case anyone who isn't Space Hitler tries to ascend. I hope you're following all this, because this is just the intro. And now I'm going to quickly summarize the plot to help you understand how amazing this game is. Space Hitler is not very popular. As a result, he loses the only Dragon Ball he has to the Italian Mafia, because he neglected to pay their godfather Don Barlow. By the way, the Italian Mafia in this game is composed of rats and speak in an Italian-American accent.
Me? I'm always in top form, not just ratkin. Razooka, pal! Yeah, the Order of Tar. You might consider us a family of sorts.
Don Barlow switches out the Astral Domine with a shiny salt lick. The melanated master finds out and has an autistic tantrum in front of you. You'll come to find this is a common theme. You take the imitation and buy the real thing. It costs most of your life savings. So instead of paying, you might try and whack him instead. Luckily, the best tricks are so nice that they work twice. First, you gotta get chummy with the Umpani or the Trang. This is the choice between authoritarian.
When was the last time you've seen a rhino race? Never, right? This is why I thought Wizardry 6, 7, 8 were so fun because I think there's a fairy, a dragon, lizard man, cat man, dog man, and then like a Yeti Wookiee type guy. You don't get that much imaginative races nowadays, really. I guess Final Fantasy XIV has kind of interesting races, but they're still not like Rhino Boy. Guild Wars 2 had the flower people. That was pretty cool.
Rhinos, or literal bugmen that reproduce faster than India.
Sluggers.
I usually roll Umpani because we share a common bond in our attraction to anthropomorphic rhino girls. Siding with one of those lets you visit the local Wookiee embassy to have a look at their Chaos Malari. And by having a look at their Chaos Malari,
he seems like an honest, trusting guy, and those are my favorite kinds of people.
I mean, snatching it in front of them, apologizing sincerely, and then replacing it with a knockoff glass bulb.
It's real, I swear.
You gotta find the Destiny Dominus, which is really the search for enlightenment.
Is that the one that the squirrels have? What are they called again? The Trini, something like that?
The source of all knowledge in the universe, you find it naturally by consuming a lot of psilocybin, DMT, and ayahuasca. So you can project yourself to a higher plane of consciousness and talk with Joe Rogan. With all 3 Dragon Balls in your dragon sack, there's still the small matter of nuclear oblivion. So you gotta go up north and offer your sweet body to a goat demoness. This game was very progressive.
You don't get many full frontals in games anymore either, do you?
For its time, because Alcedexis is fiercely heterosexual and rejects the very concept of scissoring. She also rejects the concept of monetizable content because her milk jugs are anything but modest. Anyway, to disarm the bomb, you have to get inside it. How? By breaking and entering into people's bedrooms, because logically speaking, one of them is bound to have a direct access interdimensional portal into the bomb, which can be disabled by pressing random keys and getting lucky. With a bomb no longer armed, you smack the savant, leaving him disarmed. The savant dies, but in his death reveals to you the ultimate truth, that he's been using a voice changer on Discord this whole time, and he's not actually that dark.
He's actually a VTuber. Who would have seen that coming?
End. Any questions? No? Then in that case, welcome to Wizardry 8. I love this game. Now let's...
It's not really about the story, it's about the battles and the leveling. The leveling is, I don't know, quite satisfying. You sort of feel a sense of progression.
Talk about playing it. To play, you need to make a party.
These portraits are so good.
Make yourself. If I said there's a lot of options, that would be an understatement. You can be anything you want to be. Humans, non-humans, subhumans, furries, scalies, more furries, and even short kings. There's so many short kings in this game. You can pick by your preferred size. Anything from 5'11" kings to a 5'10" pocket prince, who are so light at this point they get carried away by the wind. Race. Is there a link between race and There's 11 races, and that's only including ones you can pick. There's about 16 in total.
What the squirrel's called again? It's like the Trini or something.
Do anything you want to do, and I mean it. I don't care how many classes your game has, because Wizardry 8
I forgot what they're called.
Including, but not limited to, fighters, which fight, Valkyries, which fight using female privilege to avoid death, ninjas, which fight with the empty space representing their lack of contribution to the team until 2 weeks into the average game. However, if you rolled a fairy ninja, congratulations, because your pocket prince can now solo the entire game. Alchemist makes potions and breaks the economy by...
He didn't mention it, but he just showed the Cane of Corpus, which only fairy ninjas can use for some reason. Brilliant. Always bring one, unless you don't want to. I was thinking about streaming a playthrough of it and only using like basic classes. I don't know if that would be boring or not. I don't know. We'll see.
Making infinite potions you can sell for infinite money, letting you buy everything in the entire game.
I've tried that.
10, working as intended. Gadgeteer, who uses an unconventional form of weaponry. a gun. But that's the boring part. The interesting part is
Microwave.
overloading a microwave in a monastery, ripping out the microwave chip, and using it to give your enemies brain tumors. Gadgets are essentially random pieces of trash duct taped together to
bards do the
inexplicably
same
cause
thing?
widespread devastation. And if you think that sounds ridiculous, then let me tell you about the bard.
Bard,
In
yes.
most games, a bard plays music, keeps up morale, and probably cooks and cleans for the party as well. In Wizardry 8, the droning melody of a bard's bagpipe brings pandemonium. The plucking of his harp causes cerebral hemorrhage,
Toots
and
of
the
doom.
blowing of his horn results in nuclear fallout. Building the optimal six-man party is difficult. Explaining
I've spent several hours rolling a party just to realize that I'm not happy with it and then starting again. Bit like RimWorld. Have you ever played RimWorld? I spend more time trying to decide where to land a colony than actually playing it.
is difficult, and we don't have time. Here's my build. Follow it, copy it, enjoy it. It's very powerful, very well-rounded, and gives you a complete first experience of a game. By the way, this game's got a lot of voice dialogue.
It
I've got a
does.
surprise for you. Stand still so you can get it between the eyes.
And most of it comes from your own party.
I almost feel normal.
There's 18 different personalities
Impressive.
for each gender.
There will be many implements of destruction at my disposal, yeah?
Which is 36 fully voiced personalities
Imagine
in total.
that.
Yeah,
Nowadays, sometimes they can't even be bothered to give the player character one voice, let alone 32, whatever he said.
dice 'em, no sense being nice to 'em. That's my motto.
And that's absolutely nuts.
It
Now,
is
onto the
nutty
fun
as
stuff. I present to you all my current party.
peanut
That's
butter.
right. I manually imported all this to work inside the game. By the way, they're fully animated. The portraits, not even that bad. But manually animating the eyes and mouth, yeah, that took a while.
I don't
As
have-
our first fighter,
I
we
don't have the
got
patience
internet
for that.
historian. Physically, he's a giant. Mentally, he's...
Ah, a trap. I wonder what would happen if I just pulled this thing here.
He's very stable. Mr. Mandalore as our second fighter, whose voice I absolutely adore.
Is it the,
How exciting. I think I'm improving.
the bored guy
Oh, no.
voice?
More people. They just keep coming and coming. I'm getting
Getting
stressed.
It's just so expressive. As our morally bankrupt, backstabbing, conniving, and scheming Jew, we got my man Uber Danger as a rogue who sounds exactly as he does in real life.
I'd rather be recognized with cash, but a rise in status will do. Oh yeah, this is amazing. Nothing special. Yeah, probably worthless. I'll just hang on to it for us. You go on and fight. I'll guard the rear.
Good
For
idea.
spellcasters, I put Frederick Knudsen as our resident psionic. There's nothing
Psionics.
wrong with him. He's actually the
I think I've never really used one, but psionics have access to some of the fun spells, like making everybody insane. Why bother fighting the enemy when you can just make them fight themselves? Brilliant.
most well-adjusted of the entire group.
Gotcha! I am glad to be alive again, though the stillness of death was not totally objectionable.
Also, I put him as female. Sorry, Fred,
Best
baby,
accessory.
but the best jewelry in this game is
Yeah.
for girls. And we need to min-max. Myself as the party's dark, brooding
Ooh.
alchemist.
Ordinary men fear the power of darkness. I revel in it.
Who, over the course of the story, has been watching
I'm not really a fan of alchemists. They're kind of like wizards that can't be silenced because their magic counts as potions, I guess. Maybe they've got something good going for them. I think they can make potions and sell them, so there is a benefit to it.
shot many times.
The dead guy! What was his name?
Thanks so very much. Why did you tear me from death's sweet embrace?
And finally, Ken Ashcorp as our local priest.
Be careful.
I can't believe we're wasting time talking to a chipmunk!
Who's also completely unhinged. I did originally consider adding Pyro Cynical to the team, but
no.
unfortunately, YouTube does
Yes?
not let me feature minors in this video. There's a lot to do in Wizardry. Explore amazing places, visit
Ooh.
the swamp, catch malaria, climb a tree,
my favorite.
get body blocked for hours by hamsters, go to the only functional city in the game, with a grand total population of about
5.
12
Oh,
people,
12,
get
yeah.
harassed by Space Hitler and the androids of the Fourth Reich, head to the bar.
You can't wander anywhere in this game without being attacked by stuff. Town, you think it's safe? No, there's monsters wandering. wandering down the road. No, you're going to get ambushed by plants. It's great.
Get blackmailed, go to the bank, because of course it's still open. Go to the airport, because why not? Because this is the one game where you can talk to a starship and tell it to go fuck itself. The dialogue system in this game is nothing short of amazing. You have to manually write down, memorize, and figure out the keywords for conversational topics you're interested in. The game will then try to identify your intent and produce you a fully voiced answer.
Amusing yourself, are you?
There's not many NPCs in this game, but I remember every single one of them. Whether it's the Umpani and their militaristic tendencies.
Oh, come on now, stupid thing. Get in there. Perfect. Oh, no. Oh,
no.
Not again.
Slick-talking Don Barlone of Arazuka.
We keep our end of the deal, you know. But he slips town before he pays our fee.
You see?
So, we're here to collect. But he ain't gonna pay.
Ooh.
That ain't a problem. We get our cash, and you get your prize. And the dark savant gets shafted.
Or even your own biological daughter, conceived as a result of sleeping around with demons, because their voice acting is absolutely fantastic. Some can even be convinced to join your party. Unfortunately, most
Yeah, they join you, but some of them don't want to go anywhere. They're such little brats. Like, I don't want to go over there because it smells like Cheetos and dust.
of them are highly superstitious of their own planet and won't go where you want them to.
I think you can knock them out and just take them anyway.
This place reminds me of a song I wrote called I Ain't Going There No Way, No How.
The workaround to this is running them to exhaustion with a heavy backpack, knocking them unconscious, and forcibly dragging them past the load screen. Once they wake up, they'll complain and bitch about this breach of consent, which is why people generally avoid them. Except RFS 81, who is the best
the robot
boy,
monk.
because unlike everyone else, he's not programmed to be a bitch. Quests are also equally brilliant.
I always used to hire the squirrel lady. I think she's called like Sergeant Buffy or something. She's got this squeaky little voice. It's funny. Makes me laugh.
Until you get stuck, until you get frustrated and desperate.
Maybe it's Sergeant Sparkle, something silly like that.
Enough to read the damn walkthrough instead. There's no shame in that because I do it, and I finished the game twice. Some of my favorite quests include protecting a verified Twitter user from hateful comments online by crushing someone into meat paste after luring them in using the sweet aroma of a female girl, getting motion sickness from a mine tunnel, and of course retrieving the black box flight recorder of a crashed ship so you can triangulate the position of Space Hitler's ship and use a heavy surface to air battery to shoot him out of the sky.
3, 2, 1, firing.
Yeah, this game goes 0 to 100 real fast. Anyway, let's get back to something sensible, like using medieval weaponry to kill fantasy creatures. The biggest part of this game, from beginning to end, from the moment you wake up on that beach to the moment you pass out each day from exhaustion, is combat. This game has a lot of fighting. A lot of fighting. The hardest thing in this game is to simply walk unmolested through a short forest trail, which is physically impossible because every step of the way you'll be harassed, molested, and physically assaulted by the entire regional populace.
The fauna and the flora.
Your first experience of the great outdoors, you'll reach Arnica, the first city in the game.
It's not safe
worry, that's where I also let my guard down, sleeping with a door open, peeking out from a dusty window, only to catch a faint glimpse of moving pixels in your peripheral vision. I'm very sorry, but you're now in combat with the entire city, because even civilization is an unstoppable barrage of random encounters. To understand my frustration, here's an example. Previously, I have walked 5 meters on a tropical island, got jumped by crustaceans, walked 5 meters back because I realized I was going the wrong way, got jumped by more crustaceans, only to walk forward again and get jumped by the same group of crustaceans which have now respawned. This wouldn't be so bad if combat wasn't turn-based, but it is, and it's slow. This won't hit you immediately, but believe me, it will. And once it does, the following information will make...
I think if you get the fan patch, you can crank the speed up a little bit, though.
sense. Hello, future viewer. Like you, I have also had a mental breakdown after watching combat animations for many hours. So, I've installed the Wizardry 8 speed mod to quicken animations. I'm running Wiz 8 fast at 625 times speed, and I'm simultaneously speed hacking the game with cheat engines
I didn't go that far.
3 times speed. And it's still slow, but don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean combat is easy. It's absolutely the opposite. It's sadistically hard. It doesn't care, and it's going to keep beating you until you break.
She was a saint! A saint!
Sure, you can put down the difficulty. You're still gonna get shredded by the 10+ juggernauts that just came out of camouflage. The only way to avoid dismemberment is to play intelligently. This game is a constant battle of overwhelming odds versus your own capacity to game the system. To charge the juggernauts is suicide. They swing potentially 3 times a turn, and they're not stupid.
Back to the wall.
Surround you, flank you, and hack your spellcasters to pieces. Positioning is important. Instead of charging, we herd them into a choke point. Their numbers become worthless, and we reduce the fight into a glorified
You do corner
meat
yourself,
grinder.
though.
And that's not hyperbole. Enemies get visibly wounded the more you hurt them. It provokes a very Pavlovian response, as I get satisfaction from seeing whatever has inconvenienced me get reduced to a bloody pulp. Other times, I'm left thinking, Jesus fucking Christ, please stop. Just put him out of his misery.
He's already
I'm beating
dead.
a bandit so hard that we've ripped the very skin off his face, and his skull is visibly poking through the flesh. Tactics are important. Your fighters do most of the damage. Your mages control the battlefield. Why deal with the crowd when you can make the crowd insane and kill each other in a psychotic rage? And if that doesn't work, paralyze them, curse them, give them topical dermatitis, make them throw up, and induce nausea. You know the best way to stop an animal attack? Diarrhea. Because it's very hard to focus on anything when your ass is exploding. However, any status that affects enemies can affect you as well. And you'll find it's very hard for your party to focus when they're in the process of getting vored and digested by wild animals.
Something's different, but I can't put my finger on it.
Luckily, combat is extremely rewarding. You only have to win a couple of fights appropriate to your level.
It's very
to level
satisfying.
up. With that comes increased stats, skills, and spells to expand your options. Also, the game gets harder. Early game might be spent on the verge of death, but given time, you'll find that this is a constant state of tension, except you're no longer afraid of it. Instead, you learn to enjoy it, and even revel in the act as you realize you're quite good at it. I do, however, have some critique. 1. Traps. Traps are randomized, and one of the
more interesting disarming mini games or mechanics I've ever seen in a game. You have to kind of like predict which trap is on it. It's forget Skyrim's wiggling the sticks and DBDBD.
Stole 90% of my current assets. Philosopher's Bane turns your gold into lead. And I forgot to quick save. On the other hand, my critique is also praise, because traps are a perfect example of how goddamn good the sound design is in this game. First, you gotta tumble around to try and guess the mechanism. Next, you need to try and disarm them one at a time. Listen to this. The sound is so goddamn crispy that you can physically feel the tension as your rogue fiddles with the machinery, which can snap at any given moment. Good God, I love it. Just remember to save. 2. Lockpicking. Lockpicking.
ASO. Always save often. Wait, that's wrong. Save early, save often. CISO. Always CISO.
Is not based. It is cringe. It is an endless hell of clicking tumblers to make them rise, only to watch the rest fall as you persist
but you can use
in your
magic
futile struggle, which is why I strongly recommend you use earth magic to magically hold the tumblers, because otherwise you're gonna have a bad time. 3. Pickpocketing. Don't even bother, because it's fucking broken. No one's really sure how it works, but you can't save scum, and the responses are hard-coded. It's actually almost creepy. I once pickpocketed an NPC 5 times times with the same negative outcome, only to reload the quick save and discover that the NPC was missing, or rather that they were deleted from my save file, as if to send me a message. I know this sounds like I'm losing it, and you don't have to believe me, because I managed to record the whole thing. 4 other weird shit that happens. I used to think you couldn't Alt-Tab out of this game, because Alt-Tabbing breaks the keyboard. Turns out it doesn't. You just have to hit the Alt key once again. How could you know this? You can't. How did I learn this? I smashed my keyboard and it worked. Then I reduced the surface area of my fist.
Half the problem with Wizard is getting it to run on a 2026 computer. The fan patch helps a little bit, but it's still a little bit finicky.
Smashed keys at random until, through order of elimination, found the secret combination. This game has several features on the level of esoteric knowledge. That is to say, nobody knows shit. Wizardry 8 is absolutely fantastic. Yes, there's annoying bullshit to deal with, but hey, it's almost 2 decades old and released in less than ideal circumstances. That's why there's still a fucking hardware advert that pops up whenever you try and close the game, because the publisher was broke and the developer was about to be. So they had to shill out, buy advertising, higher FPS in a turn-based RPG where FPS doesn't matter. On the other hand, holy shit, that advert aged well. They still exist to this very day. Pre-built computers, now that's a future-proof business model, not some turn-based PTSD simulator that blew its entire poly count on jiggle physics. This game will try to break you. It'll spit in your mouth, call you names, and crush your self-esteem. But if you persist, that's when real satisfaction kicks in. When you're no longer at the mercy of its bullshit. It's the feeling of control.
It feels good.
Tell you, it is an all-encompassing, intoxicating sensation.
Creepy
I
heads.
give Wizardry 8 an extremely high score. I also give it 80% off on
buy it
GOG
now.
because I have that power.
Is that
All
deal
this
still
for
up?
about $2. If it sounds like something you'd enjoy, give it a try. An average playthrough will run you anywhere between 100 to 150 hours of game time. And given the vast range of builds and character classes, it is very much replayable, preferably with breaks of several.
I think I've seen a guy on YouTube doing like solo runs of it, which is crazy. I don't think I could ever do that. I think, can't remember what the channel name is, but I'll put it in the description if I remember it.
Years in between. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned. A warm thanks to the many members of the Merchants Guild, generously funding and bankrolling these videos. You're
Round of
all
applause.
truly wonderful. Have a good one, stay safe, and please enjoy the credits.
He seems like a kind,
You too.
generous soul. I hate him.
What do you want? If it walks, I can change that.
I'm burning to kill.
You gotta admire the guy. He didn't let a little thing like being dead slow him down one bit.
So now I'm a Templar Rapax. All my childhood dreams have come true.
Oh, great! Swimming! I hate swimming! I didn't come a million miles to get all soggy!
I'm
Filled
with glee. We won. I think we can make an all-right universe if we put our minds to it. Chaos. Woohoo!
Death has taken him. Lucky fellow.
You know, they said I was crazy when I told them I'd take over the universe one day.
Ow! Master, it is my duty to report a life form disappearance.
You know, that was the single most traumatic moment of my entire life. I'm not a man to hold resentments. I like to forgive. Maybe you could expedite that process a little by, you know, a cash settlement.
His death comes as a surprise. He showed so many traits of a strong alpha male. We got it! Now let's get out of here before bells
How
and
did they
buzzers
afford
go off.
all of this
I'd
voicing?
hate for this to turn into some kind of bloodbath, yeah.
It's amazing.
Hate it.
You know, when someone gets a big kill like that, his friends usually pitch in with some kind of reward. Really, they do.
This keeps going on.
Be your sacrifice.
Taken care of.
Ah, beautiful choice.
Uh-oh.
I have been transfixed by the demoness and used for her sport.
Ooh.
It's like a beautiful dream.
Good job.
Wait!
Didn't see anything.
I have a confession. You recall that Rapax demoness that suffice it to say that she has bewitched me somehow. If I leave this place, I suffer the torments of the damned. The only way to stop it, I am afflicted. The demoness possesses me no longer. Why is it that all my affairs end in bloodshed?
Sad.
You can't con a con, Savant, and you can't steal from a thief. But you can kill a killer, especially if you're me. Good night.
Good night. That's such a good video. Go subscribe to him if you haven't already. Do it now. Yeah, I wonder if it would be fun to do some streams of that. I've never actually beaten it, but I've played way too many hours, mostly experimenting with different classes and combinations. Yeah, pretty cool. See you later.